Right now, somewhere beyond your imagination, another version of you may be living a completely different life. A version that made different choices. A version that never lost the people you lost. A version that became the person you were too afraid to become. And if parallel universes are real, then every decision you have ever made may have created worlds where entirely different versions of your existence continue unfolding endlessly. For most of human history, reality appeared simple. One universe, one timeline, one version of existence moving forward through time. But modern physics has slowly shattered that certainty. The deeper scientists study the universe, the stranger reality becomes. Quantum mechanics, cosmology, and theoretical physics now suggest possibilities so bizarre that they sound almost impossible to comprehend. Among them is one of the most unsettling ideas humanity has ever encountered. What if our universe is not the only one? The concept of parallel universes, sometimes called the multiverse, proposes that countless other realities may exist alongside our own. These universes could contain different histories, different laws of physics, or even different versions of you living entirely separate lives. At first, this sounds like science fiction, but disturbingly, some of the mathematics behind modern physics genuinely points toward such possibilities. One of the most famous interpretations comes from quantum mechanics, the branch of physics governing reality at the smallest scales. Quantum particles behave in ways that seem completely irrational compared to ordinary experience. A particle can exist in multiple possible states simultaneously until it is measured. Physicists call this superposition. But what exactly happens when one possibility becomes reality? One interpretation, known as the many worlds interpretation, suggests something astonishing. Every possible outcome may actually occur, each in its own branching universe. Imagine flipping a coin. In one universe, it lands heads. In another, tails. Now apply this idea to every event in existence, every choice, every accident, every conversation. Reality may continuously split into countless parallel timelines, generating infinite variations of existence beyond anything humans can fully imagine. If this idea is true, then somewhere there may exist a version of Earth where history unfolded differently. A world where ancient civilizations never collapsed. A reality where technological progress advanced centuries faster. A universe where humanity destroyed itself long ago. There may even be worlds where you were never born at all. And perhaps, most disturbingly, there may be worlds where every regret you carry unfolded differently. Think about the emotional weight of that possibility. Somewhere, another version of you may have taken the opportunity you were too afraid to pursue. Another version stayed in the relationship that ended here. Another overcame fears you still struggle with. Another failed completely where you succeeded. Every road not taken in your life may continue existing somewhere beyond your awareness. At first, this idea can feel strangely comforting. Regret loses some of its power if every possibility exists somewhere. The paths you missed may still unfold in other realities, but the longer you think about it, the more psychologically unsettling it becomes. Because if infinite versions of you exist, what makes this particular version meaningful? Why does this reality matter more than the countless alternatives? Human identity depends heavily on uniqueness. People define themselves through choices, memories, and personal narratives. But the existence of parallel selves challenges that deeply. If infinite versions of you exist, making different decisions endlessly, then identity itself becomes fragmented. You are no longer one singular story moving through existence. You become one branch among unimaginable possibilities. And perhaps that is what makes the idea emotionally terrifying. Humans desperately want their lives to feel singular and meaningful, but in an infinite multiverse, even the rarest achievements may happen endlessly somewhere. Every success and failure becomes statistically inevitable across infinite realities. The uniqueness humans attach to their existence may begin dissolving under the weight of infinity. At the same time, parallel universes raise disturbing questions about fate and free will. People often imagine choices shaping reality, but if every possible outcome already exists somewhere, then perhaps no decision truly eliminates alternatives. Every version of you may simply continue existing in separate branches, regardless of what happens here. The universe may not move along one fixed path at all. It may endlessly divide into every possibility simultaneously. This also changes how humans think about loss. Imagine someone you love dies in this universe. If parallel realities exist, then somewhere another version of them continues living. Somewhere conversations you never had are still happening. Somewhere different futures continue unfolding untouched by tragedy. Emotionally, this idea feels almost impossible to process because it transforms death itself into something stranger than finality. Yet even if other versions exist, your awareness remains trapped here. You cannot experience those alternate lives directly. You only experience this one fragile thread of reality. And perhaps that limitation is important. Because if humans could perceive every possible version of existence simultaneously, the mind might collapse under the emotional and informational overload. Think about how overwhelming even ordinary regret already feels sometimes. Humans constantly replay alternate possibilities mentally. What if I made a different choice? What if I spoke differently? What if one moment changed everything? The human imagination already creates psychological parallel universes internally through memory and speculation. Real parallel universes would amplify this existential uncertainty infinitely. Philosophically, the multiverse also forces humanity to confront the terrifying scale of existence itself. Humans already struggle to comprehend the size of one universe containing billions of galaxies. But parallel universe theories suggest reality may extend far beyond observable space entirely. Our universe may be one tiny bubble among endless others floating inside structures humans cannot fully visualize mentally. Humans naturally imagine alternate versions of their lives because consciousness itself seems haunted by possibility. Every decision creates paths abandoned forever. The mind constantly wonders who you could have become under different circumstances. Parallel universe theories externalize that psychological experience into cosmic reality itself. Imagine meeting another version of yourself, not identical exactly, but shaped by different experiences and choices. Would you recognize them as you? Or would they feel like a stranger wearing your face? This question reveals something profound about identity. Humans often assume a stable self exists beneath life experience, but alternate realities suggest personality may depend heavily on circumstance. Different environments create different people. Perhaps somewhere another version of you became cruel under suffering you never experienced. Another became wise through pain you avoided. Another gave up entirely. The self you currently know may simply be one outcome among endless psychological possibilities hidden inside human nature. There is also a deeper existential mystery here. Why does your consciousness exist specifically in this universe rather than another? If infinite realities exist containing alternate versions of you, why are you aware of this particular life? Consciousness itself becomes even more mysterious under the multiverse idea because awareness appears tied to one thread among infinite alternatives. And perhaps that is where science begins colliding with philosophy once again. Physics may describe mathematical structures suggesting parallel realities, but it still cannot fully explain subjective awareness itself. Even if infinite universes exist, the mystery of consciousness remains. Why does reality feel like something from the inside? Why are you experiencing existence at all? In many ways, humans already live psychologically between realities. Memory preserves worlds that no longer exist. Imagination creates worlds that never existed at all. The multiverse may simply reflect externally what the human mind already experiences internally. And maybe that is why parallel universes fascinate humanity so deeply. Not merely because they are scientifically intriguing, but because they touch something profoundly human, the longing to know what could have been, the ache of unrealized futures, the haunting awareness that life depends on fragile moments capable of changing everything forever. Still, there is something strangely beautiful hidden inside this idea. If reality truly contains endless possibilities, then existence itself may be far more creative and mysterious than humans ever imagined. The universe may not be a rigid machine moving along one path, but an infinite landscape of branching potential continuously unfolding beyond comprehension. Perhaps somewhere another version of humanity is asking the exact same questions right now. Another version of you is staring at the night sky, wondering whether parallel worlds exist. Another consciousness is carrying different memories while feeling the same existential curiosity. Yet no matter how many universes may exist, this life remains the only one you directly experience. These moments still matter. The people you love still matter. Your choices still shape the reality your consciousness inhabits. Infinite possibilities elsewhere do not erase the emotional reality of this existence here and now. And maybe that is the deeper lesson hidden inside the multiverse idea. Humans often become trapped, regretting alternate paths they never lived, while forgetting the extraordinary reality they are already experiencing. So if parallel universes are real, perhaps the goal is not obsessing over alternate selves endlessly. Perhaps the goal is understanding how fragile and miraculous existence already is. Out of infinite possibilities, somehow you are here now, conscious enough to question reality itself. And that may be extraordinary regardless of how many universes surround us unseen. If this video made you question reality, identity, and the possibility of infinite worlds beyond our own, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe parallel universes exist? And if they do, what do you think another version of you might be doing right now? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves deep scientific and philosophical questions. And until next time, remember this: somewhere beyond the limits of your imagination, another version of reality may already exist where everything turned out differently.